Hey, John.
How you doing, Brian?
And John, by the way, is an outstanding talk show host on AM 600, and also founded Inward Bound, where you take kids from the city over in Chicago and you bring them out to your place. Let them fish, let them run, and wrestle deer.
Wrestle deer, just like you did when you were there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Just grab them by the head and wrestle them to the ground.
Yeah. Hey, Dee, how you doing?
Good. Great to have you here with us.
Yeah.
Well, Escanaba, we feel a certain kinship with the folks there.
Yeah.
How have people there been affected? Do they relate to what we all went through on the East Coast?
Absolutely. I think the thing that to remember in all this is that small-town America has this real core to it, and it was revealed even more at 9/11 and solely, shortly right after there. And I think the kids especially, because of the way the structure is in a community like Escanaba and the surrounding area, bounce back a lot quicker in a lot of ways than kids do in the bigger cities. But what's most important is what small-town America is all about is really what now America is about, and I think that's a real strength. My show is all built on what you focus on the longest becomes the strongest. And when people since 9/11 have become, as I said, small town, the heartbeat of America, the heartland of America, really becoming more revealed, it's a heightened awareness, but it's a good heightened awareness, and I think we're in a good position.
All righty. John St. Augustine, thanks for joining us.
Good to virtually see you both. Yeah.
Host of Power Talk Radio on Escanaba AM 600.
I've been surrounded over the years by some amazing people that really impacted my life, not just in radio. People like Walter Payton and John Denver and Jerry Kramer and Dorothy Hamill. And all these people were doing what they loved to do, and when they left, everybody knew about it because of the impact they made. So when I'm on the air doing what I do, whether it's the 1-minute Power Thought vignettes or doing a regular show or doing a show like this, I'll be stopped somewhere. And somebody will say, a show you did 5 years ago with Captain Jerry Coffey, one of the longest held prisoners of war in Vietnam, changed my life. Now, to me, that's a high honor. And Mr. Rogers said something I'll never forget. The space between the host and the viewer is sacred. And I take that in radio, saying that the position that I'm at as a host and that airspace between the listener is a sacred space. And I treat it as such, and I think we need more of that.
Talking about talk radio, I mean, obviously in the news department, and news stations, I'm not saying this is always a policy, but if it bleeds, it leads.
Oh, yeah.
John St. Augustine, you've got a different type of format, though. Can you kind of explain a little bit?
That's sure a kind way to put it. A different way.
I mean, we're running out of time, though, so if you could give a brief description about that.
When I look at what the information that's put forth by talk radio, I want to be able to use it. I think the last time people read a book is their high school yearbook. And Oprah has taken television and put books back in people's hands. One of the things we do on my show is the same type of thing. We have the authors, we give books away, we mail them all across the country. And the thing is to get people back involved in their lives again, as opposed to being removed. And there's nothing worse, I think, than hitting that snooze button in the morning and hearing the same accident you heard the night before that you can't do anything about. When I started this show 3 years ago, it's not a Pollyanna approach. I just got sick and tired of hearing the stuff out there that I couldn't stand anymore, but I didn't have any choices. And then we started the show, and it's taken 3 years, and when I'm on WCHT now in Escanaba, replacing Dr. Laura is a big deal. It's not because I'm such a brilliant broadcaster. I think it's because we're filling a pressing public need, and people get another option, and then they choose.